Is the romantic comedy Ghost actually scary?
No, that's our episode. Thanks for watching.
Bye!
Bye. It does have some scary elements, for sure. And we'll talk about the one that is probably, honestly, one of the scariest things in movies, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it is very fluffy. If you think about it, it's very romantic. A man that has passed looking over his lover and trying to protect her from befalling the same fate. And, oh yeah, you could go to hell.
In case you were wondering, you definitely can.
You can go to hell in this movie, yeah.
When I was watching this movie, I did come up with a comprehensive list of all the things that would scare me in real life that just aren't necessarily scary in your average viewing experience.
Okay, let's hear your list.
Okay, here we go. The city, moving, not being able to sleep, wet clay, dark alleyways, being mugged/murdered, seeing yourself dead, being trapped on the earth after dying, being able to walk through solid objects and seeing someone's insides when passing through them, the stairs with no railings in Molly and Sam's apartment, man watching Molly undress, getting scratched by a cat, ghost man in the subway, being scammed by a fake psychic, finding out you're not a scammer and actually can hear ghosts, the Sam 8th I Am song, the murderer living in your neighborhood, friend betrayal, fraud, cops who don't believe you, people showing up to your home unannounced, liars, responsibilities at work, dead boyfriend's friend who tries to make a move on you, ghosts being able to move things, hearing all the ghosts ever, being possessed, going to the bank, giving away $4 million, a ghost typing murderer on the computer, haunted houses/apartments, and the shadow ghost demon things.
That was scary.
Oh, don't forget being bullied by other ghosts.
No, I like being bullied by ghosts.
Oh, okay. That'll be fine.
No, just kidding. I was writing some things because, let's be honest, is Ghost the scariest movie ever?
No,
Is
not
it
really.
scary at all? Potentially. But I was some of these situations, if I took out of a movie context, are actually kind of scary.
Yeah, I think we talked about it. To those that don't know, we've recorded this movie before, but we're doing this in our new format. So this is part of our re-record series, I guess. But I believe we talked about in our original episode that intro, when we're just looking at their kind of under construction apartment, they haven't done everything that they need to live in it. That opening is kind of spooky, just some music playing and some drop cloths in places, kind of looks like somebody could pop out at you. And then they just switch to this heavy, romantic music, oh, and I was like, oh, now everything's okay. Patrick Swayze is here.
Also, I got jump scared by the title a little bit. It just goes, ghost, it makes a jarring noise.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
not expecting that at all. I was like, damn, I don't remember that from the first time we watched this.
Yeah. And you're right with the moving in scene and stuff like that. She's an artist, so she's trying to get one of her sculptures inside. So they raised it up on a little pulley at the window, and she's trying to reach out the window for it. I'm like, no, this isn't it.
This is how you die, man.
Yeah, exactly. And, Patrick Swayze comes to save the day. I'll stop calling him Patrick Swayze. Sam comes to save the day and just, does a little kick and it swings back and he gets it. So
couldn't be me. I'm afraid of heights. I should have put that. Heights.
Yeah, exactly.
Sculptures.
That
I
one
don't know.
Sculptures. Art.
Art. Not the art.
Getting your hands dirty with clay.
Oh. Oh. I don't know if I could ever make pottery like that.
Yeah, I think the compulsive need to wash my hands is very strong in me, so I don't know if I could. Any other things that you wanted to talk about that are initially scary? Oh, the demons thing.
Yeah, I don't know if we wanted to jump right ahead. So I kind of mentioned there is something in this movie that is legitimately scares me, and it's those demon shadow creature things.
Yes. Every time somebody that had some nefarious lifestyle choices going on dies in the movie, yeah, you see these shadowy things kind of up, and they all surround them, and then they carry them away very quickly, and they look terrified. That's a no for me. Heaven looks a lot better.
For sure. It's one of those things, a lot of people say how horror movies rely heavily on sound.
Mm-hmm.
You could take a cut of a horror movie and replace creepy music with funny music, and it doesn't make it scary anymore. These things, the things that make it so scary, are the cries it makes. And you had just told me a fun fact before we started recording.
Yeah. So it turns out the unsettling sound made by the shadowy figures are actually the sounds of babies crying played at an extremely slow speed in reverse. So that was not what I thought they would be.
Yeah, so in that sense, Ghost actually does have a scary moment that I would consider even among the other scenes of actual horror movies in terms of how freaked out it makes me.
Yeah. I mean, there's also some, bad things happening too. We're talking about like a friend's betrayal. Like he sets you up to get you murdered.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty intense for a romance movie.
Yeah, this movie is interesting in the sense of it is the romance, but there is a decent amount of action and suspense and creepy ghosts. So I feel like it does a good job at kind of incorporating all these aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to be honest, I wasn't super jazzed to watch this again initially. But when I started getting into the movie again, I'm like, you know what? This is a good movie. I really like it.
It is always a good movie. I always find myself trying to learn more about the work dynamic between Carl and Sam. I'm very confused because it doesn't read like a bank, but they call Sam a banker. So I'm guessing he has something to do with accounts. That's all they talk about. Accounts, transferring money. And then I was like, you know why Carl is also so jealous of Sam? It's not just because of Molly, like his girlfriend. It's because Sam has an office. Sam must be like of a higher position. He must be like a peon to Sam because at first, when like one of the opening scenes, aside from them moving in, they're walking on the street and Carl's kind of like telling him his schedule for the day. Mm-hmm. So it definitely seems that Carl is underneath him.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Mm-hmm. I can see that. Yeah. Carl has a character. How do you feel about him? Because I feel like, to me, he's the main big bad in this movie. We have Willie Lopez, who's kind of the killer in the situation.
He's more or less the weapon, though. Like,
Willie?
He wouldn't be involved unless Carl had told him to be.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think Carl is the bad guy in this movie. How do you feel about him as the bad guy? Like, what are your thoughts about him?
I think for like a first watch, it's like, oh, I wouldn't suspect his friend to be the one that was setting all of this stuff up. But like they do try to give you some clues. He does seem very panicked about this transfer of money. Like he's very concerned. And when Sam seems concerned that there's showing so much money in certain accounts that shouldn't be there, and he starts to look into it, he kind of makes this look on his face that's like, oh no.
Oh no, there's Melanie. That's a shame. She was really nice.
I could do that. No, you don't have to do that. You're so busy.
Yeah, no, I'll take care of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know really how I feel about him as a villain per se, as in like if I saw him on the street. I don't carry large sums of money, so I guess I'm good. But I guess, yeah, you could fear him if he was your friend.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on him as the villain?
Yeah, I go back and forth because it's one of those situations where it's a lot of times when I give people lower ratings, like it's just a guy, a kind of nerdy, douchebaggy guy. And people like him piss me off. But the more you think about it, I mean, he is willing to kill whoever to get, this money transferred. Like his best friend makes a move on Molly, threatens to kill Molly.
I swear to God, I'll cut her throat. I need that money and I want it tonight at 11 o'clock. If that psychic lady does not bring it here, Molly is dead, okay?
In that sense, it is really scary to know that you could be so close to somebody and they could be doing these nefarious things behind your back. So yeah, it's hard to balance because on the outside looking in, I'm like, Carl, fuck you little weasel. But then being in that situation is so scary.
Yeah, because even when he's helping Molly sort through some of Sam's stuff, you can see he's kind of just moving in on her as quickly as possible. Like, let's go for a walk after this. Like, he's trying to say all the right things to be a good friend in this situation. But it also comes across so conniving when you know what he's actually doing behind the scenes. So you're like, oh, he just can't wait to get all of his shit out of her apartment. Like,
Yeah, just distracting her so Willie could come in. And that's scary too, just knowing someone was in your apartment.
The same person that killed your boyfriend. Yeah, just that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Right. I mean, even though in that moment they weren't going to harm Molly at all, like they didn't want to hurt her, but they will if they have to. And that's crazy.
But he leered at her when she was changing, so it looks like he was considering, maybe going off book and doing his own thing if he wouldn't have been scratched by the cat, which was Sam's doing. But,
oh, yeah, for sure. I think from Carl's perspective, he didn't want to hurt her, but Willie, who the hell knows what he would do?
Right, yeah. He doesn't really seem to care, so.
No, he just wants his money.
Yeah.
Another scene that kind of creeps me out when I watch this movie is the ghost on the subway.
Yeah. That guy was kind of scary to me when I was younger and would watch this because I didn't understand mental illness.
Right. Comes out of nowhere. And then he's just screaming at Sam. It's really unsettling. And then in the movie, Sam comes back to the ghost to learn how to move things. And there's something I just caught. The ghost goes on and on about like how he shouldn't have died and it wasn't his time yet. He's like, and I didn't jump, like I was pushed. And then when he leaves, he jumps into the track, which makes me think he did.
He probably did jump.
Yeah. Which I didn't know one way or another, but I just caught that for like the first time.
Yeah, that's true. I'm like, maybe that's his unfinished business. He hasn't accepted that that's what happened to him.
Which is really tragic, I think.
Yeah. And he just kind of turns on a dime. Like he's helping Sam out. They seem to be getting along when he's helping him try to learn how to move stuff. And then all of a sudden, Sam says one thing and he's like, no, I didn't jump. I was pushed. And like, we never talked about that, bud.
Yeah, it makes it seem like he's trying to skirt the blame or convince himself he didn't do it. And that I didn't think about that before.
Yeah.
Watching it several other times. And now I'm like, oh man, that sucks.
And I know he is at least some level threatening though, because Sam is just sitting on the subway, doesn't think anyone sees him. And then all of a sudden this guy is coming at him and he is terrified. He starts screaming. I'm like, you're dead. Both of you are dead. There's really nothing that can happen, right? And he like puts his head outside the train and Sam's screaming the whole time. And I'm like, oh, I mean, technically you guys shouldn't be worried about any of this.
Right.
Because you're just going to go through. But
they never
to make him snap out of that and still have that genuine fear response, I think is something as well.
Maybe because he's so new to being dead that he just has that reaction, that natural reaction, like, oh, I'm about to get hurt. They don't really say if ghosts feel anything, so I don't know if that's a concern to them or not.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, too, that I wanted to discuss, that we really do experience kind of every aspect of life after death in this sense, with heaven opening up for Sam and he decides, no, I'm going to stay. And I'll get another chance. I'm a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the demons coming up to get Willie and Carl ultimately when they die. And the in-betweens of him being able to move things and go through doors, but him having to actually learn how to do that. It's just not a given. And not being seen and trying to reach out to certain people. And then this connection with Whoopi, like he finds the right person that can actually see him. And it's a struggle there too, because she doesn't want to believe it. So I thought it was an interesting exploration into that. And it made me realize that we have like a little bit of an evolution of how we think about death in media. I feel like we're on the verge of shifting again, but recently we went through a renaissance of movies dealing with different aspects of grief, like Hereditary and Babadook and Midsommar and Mother. However, in the 90s, it seemed like we were more focused on the unknowns of life and death. This movie is completely from Sam's perspective of being in limbo. And even in a less sophisticated movie, such as Look Who's Talking Now, that's all
baby one?
Yeah, that's all about a baby's life from conception to the moment he starts talking, because we don't remember those kind of scenarios. You don't remember when you were conceived. You weren't there. And you can't like voice that. And so it's kind of wondering like what those opinions and viewpoints would be looking at the world from a newborn stance.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think we're transitioning to the point of crossing that line, like bring her back or talk to me. What happens when you go too far? Obviously, you can find themes of grief or the unknown in all the movies I've listed, except the baby one. But I just find
it baby, no. I'm grieving being free from a child.
Grieving baby. But I just find it interesting what pulls the main focus at specific times over the years.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, this movie, like, obviously it's called Ghost. And, like, I almost feel it's more of a gimmick in this movie in the sense, because this is not a horror movie. It's not billed as a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it deals with those elements, obviously, because we see it from Sam's perspective. And yeah, you're right. It is more or less what he's going through when he dies, and not necessarily. I mean, also because it's interesting, Molly doesn't believe in this kind of thing.
Right.
So that's a whole other girl. She pissed me off this time around.
Really?
It took her so many pieces of evidence for her to finally
believe that it's Sam reaching out to her immediately. Yeah.
Oh, but in any case,
I would have been so delusional, honestly. Anybody could have called me and been like, they're talking to you. I'd be like, really? Okay.
Well, it's just like, Oda Mae comes and she's yelling up at Molly all these things that no one would know, right?
Yeah.
And it takes like 20 different examples. And even at some point in the movie, she stops believing again. I'm like, girl, I don't know if it's just denial or fear or what the situation is. But I'm like, girl, pull it together. It's him.
Right. Well, there's the first time where she convinces her out in the street. She's yelling all these things.
Hey, you remember the starfish in Montego Bay? How would I know that if he wasn't here? Hey, Molly, I know about the green underwear that you wrote your name on. I'd never get over that, I'll tell you that.
I'm like, I want to know the backstory about why you wrote your name in green underwear. Like, she just makes it seem like an obvious story we should all know. Like, that's so Molly.
Molly.
Oh, Molly in the green underwear, of course. And then Molly believes, but then she ends up going to the police to look up Willie Lopez because Sam has told Whoopi Goldberg's character, Oda Mae, that Willie is the one that killed him, to look into him with the police. And of course, the police take it as, oh, she was talking to a psychic. Psychics are schemers, so we'll look up her. And of course, Oda Mae has a huge file as being fraudulent at times of different things. So then she fights it a little bit. She tells them that like she knew private things like songs we sang and stuff like that. But the police were very dismissive. Like they could have read that in the obituary or went through your garbage.
No,
I
ma'am.
mean, I guess.
Do you write down all the songs you've sung to each other on a piece of paper and throw it out?
Yes.
Did someone
every other day.
find your underwear?
Yeah.
How would they know about the
it's
sweater?
Crazy.
And then even she says ditto, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe she could have overheard Sam saying that, but Oda Mae never knew them. So
right. Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
know. In any case, there's that whole element too of like people who don't believe in those kinds of things. So that was interesting too.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the ditto thing, do you think it was a kind of a weird cop-out for Molly to say ditto at the end? Like, he's finally professed his love to her. Like, he never said, I love you. That was their whole fight right before he dies. And then he finally says, I love you at the end. And she's just like, ditto. Like she's kind of like hands off.
No, I think that's great. That's such a great callback, and it's like a kind of tongue-in-cheek thing. Like
only they would know. Like,
yeah, I love that. I think that is great. Yeah,
I think it makes a lot of sense movie writing wise, but I feel like that's not what you would really want to hear.
No, you know what? I think Sam would. I think he would.
Okay,
that would make him like. that's what I did. Now the thing that we always not bickered about, but she kind of pushed back on, and it's like,
Now
gotcha.
she understands. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's sweet. Okay.
I think it's cute. I
Yeah.
personally think it's cute.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You were saying that you're angry at Molly, and I was trying to remember if I thought on our last viewing that I was angry at her. And I was like, maybe it's because I feel like we don't spend that much time with her, like in her grief.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Watching it again, I wasn't as upset with her this time, but maybe it just kind of ebbs and flows.
To be fair, I like Molly. I'm not like angry at her, but it is frustrating because us as an audience know what's going on. From her perspective, she doesn't. So like, if I put myself in her shoes, I would probably be similar to Molly, like being honest, but we have all the information. So it's easy for us to be like, girl, pull it together.
Right.
He's talking to you. But she doesn't know that. Like even Otome doesn't actually see Sam. She just hears him, which is interesting.
That's true. Yeah. I did put in like what I was probably thinking in the last movie. I was like, maybe because we don't see enough of her perspective, but I feel like the level of grief needed in this situation is not there. The girl lost Patrick Swayze. Every moment on film, she should just be bawling.
You like Patrick Swayze that much?
I do. I love him. And Dirty Dancing and this, like two of my favorite movies, honestly.
Okay, fair.
With him, yes.
I mean, everyone deals with grief differently.
Yeah, no.
So,
and like I said, I didn't feel that way, really. I was just trying to justify what I was thinking in the original, but couldn't find it this time.
You don't have to justify it. If you don't like her, you don't like her. Bye, girl. No,
she's fine. She is fine. I think the chemistry, was more there with the girl from Dirty Dancing for him, but I mean, she's grieving. It's whatevs. It's not eating a pie on the floor, but
No. No, too soon.
I'm sorry. No, a ghost story just really, really did a good symbolic version of grief by eating that whole pie on the floor.
For like 5 minutes straight. If you haven't seen Ghost Story, watch it.
Yes, definitely.
But also, I think in terms of their chemistry, he dies fairly soon in the movie, like within the first half hour. So you don't have the whole movie getting to build up to or seeing their relationship.
Right.
And not to compare Dirty Dancing now, but you brought it up. They meet each other and it's like that love at first sight kind of a thing, or not necessarily that, but
it's kind of like an enemies to lovers situation they have. It's a different dynamic. So that makes sense.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I always kind of compare it to P.S. I Love You because in that movie, Gerard Butler dies and it's with Hilary Swank and they have this really very in-depth personal opening scene where they're having this all-out, like, nothing held back kind of fight about, like, when they'll have kids, why aren't they making enough money, we need to do this, why are you always switching jobs? It's like this whole thing, and you can see this huge dynamic, all of their problems, but ultimately still how much they love each other. And then he's immediately sick and dies. And then the whole movie goes on about all these letters that he wrote to her while he was preparing to die. And it gets me every time. I can't just like watch it now because I will just cry. But
Stephanie,
it is
no,
so
I will
good.
never watch that movie ever.
It is so good. Just watch the opening scene. Then you don't have to know that he died.
Well, I don't know. God, that sounds gut-wrenching. Oh
yeah,
my
but
God.
I have to compare it to that in this movie because it's very similar. You only get like a short, brief time of them together alive as a couple, and you try to see all the ins and outs of their relationship. And in P.S. I Love You, it was a little quicker. I think they were done within like 10 minutes.
Oh, damn. You said bye.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
And this, probably 30, but yes, still the same idea.
Yeah, it's sad. I did want to chat real quick about Otome because she, in my opinion, is the comic relief where all the comedy really stems from.
I love her.
And I'd be curious your thoughts on if we remove that character, how would this movie shake out in terms of it being more serious? Do you think it'd be scarier? Do you think there'd be more suspense? And maybe not like remove the character as Otome, but not have her be Whoopi Goldberg comedy. If you made it more straightforward.
Well, if you remove her entirely, I would say that would definitely be more suspenseful because Sam would have to learn a lot more to try to communicate and get Molly to see what he's trying to tell her. With Oda Mae as like the comic relief, I think it brings this movie that's very serious with like the friend betrayal and the grief and everything. It just definitely lightens it. So it almost needs to be there to balance it out if it's not going to be a full-on horror kind of thing. So if Oda Mae was just a straight face, like just a psychic going about her business, I don't know. I think it would kind of peter out. It would just be like, he says this. Do you believe it? He says this.
What do you think?
Yeah, like it would just be so boring, I think, at that point.
Okay. Yeah, I 100% agree. She's my favorite character. I was just wondering if she was removed, if we could potentially make this a thriller film or even horror. Like, could we potentially bill it as such without that character specifically?
I think if she was removed entirely, it definitely could fit that way as a suspense of like Molly not understanding what happened to Sam and everything with the Willie Lopez and Carl moments.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like this big twist at the end, especially if we didn't see all of Carl's little steps building up to it, to be like, oh no, Carl was the one that betrayed her all along. Mm-hmm. So I definitely see it could have gone a different direction.
Okay. Because I was thinking about this when we were watching it, because I was like, okay, if we remove all of her scenes, would this affect my rating overall? Or does she really, her character brings so much comedy that it makes me less scared through all these other moments? So it was just like a weird question that I was thinking about, because I was like, I think it would probably change my rating for this movie.
Yeah, I think it would make it scarier, but I don't know if it would help in the likability of it.
Oh, yeah, likability would go down the drain.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't change the tone of anything in this movie, because it does do such a great job at blending these elements, and it's not meant to be that scary, so... It was just a thought. I think it would definitely up the suspense throughout, because she breaks up those moments between scenes of, what's Carl doing or Willie being in Molly's apartment to chasing Oda Mae later. Those scenes with her really break that up. Atmosphere would probably go up a little bit to me. Plot definitely would go up. But just the overall tone of the movie because of her brings it all down, which I think is kind of interesting to think about.
I get what you mean. I also like the fact that apparently they didn't want her for this role, and Patrick Swayze fought for her to be casted, and he said he wouldn't do it without her. So I like that.
Yeah.
He saw the potential.
He did, yeah. I don't know who else could have played that character as well as she did.
I know. She is so funny. I love every time I've watched it and they go to the bank and he's trying to help her pretend to be this Rita Miller.
Rita Miller.
Sign this card on the bottom line, please.
No, Rita Miller.
I'm so sorry. I need another one. I signed the wrong name.
Not a very strict bank, honestly.
No.
That would definitely be a red flag.
Definitely.
Also, I wanted to ask you too, did Sam ever officially find out that Carl was laundering money though? Do you think like the breaking point for Carl was when he realized Sam was looking into the issue? And he was like worried about being found out, so he's like, I'll just kill him before he can even try to tell anybody or even know.
Oh, did Sam know ahead of being killed?
Yeah. Like, obviously, I don't think he did, because he doesn't, he seems so surprised when he goes, when he follows him to Willie Lopez.
100%. He had no idea.
Yeah. So I was just wondering if Carl thought he knew as well, because he moves forward with the attack, because he asked him what he's doing that night. So then I think so he can call Willie and tell him.
He was worried that he'd find out, but didn't he kill Sam because he needed the book of passwords and stuff? Is that why?
He had his password. He asked him for it.
Oh.
But I think it was more or less that Sam was looking into it and wouldn't leave it alone.
Oh, okay.
And because he offered to take it from him and do it since Sam was busy. And
then, I think he killed him because he was afraid. He knows too much or is going to find out. So I don't think Sam knew yet, but I think Carl definitely was seeing the signs that he was going to find out.
It was inevitable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting. Just going back really quickly to Whoopi Goldberg's character, Oda Mae, she is such a riot in this role as the hustler psychic. Like, especially when Sam first visits her, she doesn't see ghosts at all, so she's just a fraud at this point. And she just blatantly throws names out to other people, seeing what will stick. And then she's like, oh, but it's so hard. I don't know if I can do it today.
That would be me, even if I could do it. Oh,
Really?
I can't do it.
Just standing behind you like, he needs to rest. And then they're like, give him more money.
Yeah. Oh, now I know.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's coming back to me. But I love this movie. I honestly could talk about it forever. But the one thing, though, I have an issue with Oda Mae and the Molly and Sam thing is when Sam possesses Oda Mae and they have this very intimate, like, caress and holding each other. And it's not like I am against Oda Mae and Molly being together if they really want to. I think it's just like the whole boundary of it's kind of probably escalating beyond what Oda Mae would like to be doing for them at that point. And I think it feels so awkward and kind of icky because you know what's happening without Sam standing in. They show him, but we know it's really not.
Yeah.
And they play the same music from the pottery scene when they hook up in the beginning. So it just feels way too intimate. It always makes me feel like a little
Yeah, I agree. I think the thought is really sweet.
I think she meant to help out, yeah, but it didn't know how hard their love could burn. Like, I guess.
Yeah, and execution, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
Thank God in the actual movie, to your point, they show Sam, not Oda Mae, because it's actually Oda Mae's body. So, like, watching it, it's like, oh, cute. But then you really think about it, you're like, oh, that's really
It's
Oda
so hard
Mae.
for me not to think about it, honestly. Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh, they get to be together. But you realize Molly's closing her eyes because she can't look at him because it's Oda Mae. Like,
right. It is bizarre. It is a little weird. But, yeah. Is it a problem to me? No. Is it weird? Yeah. I don't think it has the impact to me that they wanted it to. Just because I can't separate the two.
Yeah, well, that's why I said too, my last comment was the ending is way more romantic than anything else they do while he's a ghost. Just her being able to finally see him after all this time and say goodbye. That's 100. Way more romantic to me than anything they try to accomplish otherwise.
Agreed. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Any other thoughts you wanted to say before we do the ratings?
No, just overall, I'm glad we did this movie again because we like you said, did this before in the past, like our first season. It's interesting when we're covering a movie that's very clearly not a horror movie, like paying attention to those things. I know I listed off the list of things mostly as a joke at the beginning, but really in a vacuum, a lot of the things going on in this movie is really scary. So it is cool to kind of talk about how you could present these things in different ways, but still discuss the scary aspects of it. So I'm really glad we kind of revisited this movie.
Yeah, me too. It's a favorite of mine. And also, like, the more I watch it, the more I can see it for it being creepy at times. I used to just watch it and be like, one of those old 80s movies or 90s movies that, my mom and I would watch. And it's like nostalgia. But then I'm like, oh, those are demons. Those are demons coming to get him. Like,
yeah. That's your friend trying to kill you. Like, what are we doing here?
Excuse me? All right, so for our ratings, we're going to rate each category out of 1 out of 3, and that will give us our overall total out of 13 for our total scary scale. Alex, what did you have for your ratings?
For plot, I give it a 1 out of 3. Suspense, a 2 out of 3. Atmosphere, 0 out of 3. Villain, I initially gave it a 0 out of 3, but talking through it just now, I'm actually going to give it a 1 out of 3. I did not give him an extra point, however, just because it is not a horror movie. So I gave it a 4 out of 13.
Okay.
What about you?
For plot, I gave it a 2. For suspense, I gave it a 1. For atmosphere, I gave it a 0. For villain, I gave it a 1. And I gave it my special point because I love this movie. So, but yeah, the atmosphere is just the city, essentially.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I guess you could consider it scary. Subway do be scary.
Mhm. So
But
scary.
but just out of like the horror elements, I was trying to also keep it a little, tame, not giving it too much.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, agreed. And that's plot-wise, like I said with Oda Mae, if she was gone, it'd probably be higher. It'd probably be at least a 2. But overall, the tone of this movie, it's not that scary. It's not
no,
meant to be, but it has all those elements in there.
right. That's true. Yeah, it's secretly a horror sometimes.
Yeah.
Shh.
Don't tell nobody.
No. It's too romantic. Look at the ghost.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a like. And of course, you can let us know what movies you'd like us to cover in the future by just letting us know in the comments.
Yeah, you can follow us on social media using 13 Degrees of Screams.
This has been 13 Degrees of Screams, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.